I was finishing up a custom kitchen cabinet job when she called. She wanted me to meet her and the girls for dinner downtown. After 10 hours of precision cuts and installations, I wasn't dressed for fancy. Still, she insisted. Said it would be fun. I should have trusted my gut. I walked into that trendy restaurant, the kind where everything costs twice what it should. I was still in my work clothes. Clean, but clearly a guy who works with his hands. The hostess gave me that look. You know the one? I had reservations. So she led me to the table where my fiancé sat with 3 friends. Conversation stopped when I arrived. Dead silence. My fiancé, let's call her what she became that night. My ex-fiancé looked embarrassed. Not the good kind of embarrassed. Not the surprised with flowers kind. The kind that says you were never supposed to be there. Sorry I'm late, I said. Had to finish those cherry wood cabinets for the Edwards. A customer wanted them perfect for their anniversary tomorrow. One woman, marketing firm, nails done, voice board, barely looked up from her phone. Oh, that's nice. The energy at the table felt wrong. I've seen enough to know when something's off. I thought maybe they were tired. Maybe they'd been drinking. Then I heard it. I was coming back from the restroom. I caught the tail end of a conversation. They thought I was still in the bathroom. The acoustics carried their voices farther than they realized. Honestly, Tracy, you could do so much better. He's sweet, but he's not exactly impressive, is he? You're young. You're beautiful. You should be aiming higher. My fiancé's voice was softer, but I heard her. Sometimes I wonder if you guys are right. Maybe I am settling. 10 seconds. That's all it took for the world to tilt. I make $38 an hour. I build furniture. I renovate homes. I save for our future. I plan a life. And I was apparently not impressive enough. I walked back to the table and sat down. I ordered a beer. I smiled when appropriate. Inside, something had shifted. It wasn't coming back. I looked at her and asked, calm and steady, what do you mean by aiming higher? Color drained from her face. What do you mean? She stammered. If you think you're settling, I said, maybe you should stop settling. Real quiet. You don't know what you're talking about, she said. I think you do, I replied. I finished my beer. I placed $20 on the table. Consider yourself free to aim as high as you want. I stood up. I looked at each of her friends. Then I looked at her. The ring's in my truck. You want it back? Wait, what are you doing? What I should have done the moment you decided I wasn't good enough. Pulled out my keys. You can get the ring now, or I can drop it off tomorrow. Your choice. She followed me outside. Her friends trailed behind like spectators at a car crash. At the truck, I opened the glove compartment. The same ring I'd saved for 6 months? I held the box out to her. Go find someone more impressive, I said. She took the ring with shaking hands. We can talk about this. We can work through this. No, we can't, I answered. Because now I know who I was planning to marry. And she's not someone I want to marry. I got in my truck and drove away. In the rearview mirror, I watched her standing there with the ring box, looking like she couldn't figure out what just happened. I knew exactly what had happened. I just saved myself from a lifetime of being not enough. The first thing I did when I got home was call the venue. Saiva Gardens. The manager picked up on the 3rd ring. It was almost 9, but they run events every weekend. Hi, this is about the wedding reservation for next month. I need to cancel everything. There was a pause. Canceling this close to the date means forfeiting the deposit, he said. That's $3,500. Cancel it anyway, I said. By midnight, I'd made 8 calls. Caterer, photographer, DJ, florist, even the priest at St. Michael's. Same answer, different voices. Yes, understood about deposits. Yes, I'm certain. No, I don't want to reschedule. The photographer, Roger, begged me to sleep on it. I told him it wasn't cold feet. It was the end. My phone buzzed around 11:30. Text after text from her. I turned it off and focused on the tasks at hand. Saturday morning, I drove to Nelson Jewelry with the ring in my pocket. The salesman who'd helped me pick it looked surprised. Back so soon? I need to return this, I said. He examined the ring. Perfect condition. He offered 70%. I took the check. $2,100. No ring. No illusion. Next, the bank. I'd added her as a secondary account holder 3 months earlier. I had the banker change the accounts, issue a new number, remove her access. Professional, clean, done. By Sunday evening, I'd methodically erased every trace of our wedding plans. No drama, no social media posts. Just efficient action. Jacob came by while I was organizing my garage. He'd heard through the grapevine. Dude, what's going on? Tracy's been calling everyone asking where you are. Broke up, I said when Friday night, he sat stunned on my workbench. What happened? She decided I wasn't impressive enough. So I decided she was right. That's insane. You guys were planning a wedding? You were, I said, handing him a beer. Not anymore. He asked if I wanted to fight for it. Fight for what? I wondered. The privilege of spending my life with someone who'd already decided I was a placeholder? No thanks. I had more self-respect than that. That night, she came to my door. I didn't answer. She knocked for 10 minutes. She called my name. I stayed inside drinking coffee and reading specs for a new project. Custom built-ins for a downtown law office. Good money. Focus required. I had both now. She left a handwritten letter under the door. I let it sit. Then, I threw it away unread. The following week, I worked. I finished the Edwards kitchen, started the law office project, bid 3 jobs. Busy kept my mind clear. Busy kept my bank account healthy. Rumors started. Tracy told people the wedding was postponed. She said we were working through it. She's not accepting this is over. It should have been the end. But she was planning to force the issue. She had other people in line for that. A week later, while installing crown molding, my phone rang. Unknown number. Local area code. Hello? Hi. Is this Tracy's fiancée? A woman asked. I almost hung up. Who is this? This is Wendy. I'm one of her bridesmaids. I'm calling about tonight. About tonight? The bachelorette party. Tracy said you worked everything out. She said everything's fine and the wedding is back on. So, we're doing the bachelorette tonight as planned. Sat down on my sawhorses. There's no wedding, I said. Silence. We broke up 2 weeks ago. I canceled everything. Oh my God, she breathed. She still has the ring. She showed us the ring again. She told everyone you were good now. I told Wendy the truth and hung up around midnight. The same number called again. You need to know what happened tonight, Wendy said. No, I don't. Yes, you do. It's about you. Beat. Her voice shifted. I think I've been in love with you for 2 years. I stared at her. She was 25, maybe. Honest face. Shaky hands. She said she'd been watching me at parties. How I remembered details about wood grain. How I stopped to help an elderly woman with a flat tire. How I treated people with respect. How I listened. She said she noticed when Tracy did, single quotes, at the bachelorette party, Wendy told everyone the truth. She spoke about the dinner where Tracy and her friends decided I wasn't impressive. Ellie, one of the friends, had felt guilty and told Wendy everything. Chaos followed. Tracy tried to deny it. Friends turned on her. By 11, half the party had left. Tracy was crying into her cocktail. The other bridesmaids, some had been quietly impressed by me all along, now saw what I was. Her world unraveled. Then Wendy did the thing that mattered most. She told them she had feelings for me. She said she'd been watching for 2 years, and that if she had a man like me, she'd never let him doubt his worth. I listened, stunned. Wendy left the party declaring her intentions. Then she drove to my house. She stood on my porch crying and told me everything. She showed me the group text from the party. Messages calling Tracy an idiot for letting me slip away. Messages from women saying I was husband material. One text read, "That man knows how to use his hands, has a steady job, and treats people with kindness. What more could you want?" Wendy's confession wasn't a scene. It was quiet. It was genuine. And it landed. She told me Tracy was planning a grand gesture. Coffee and bagels at 8 a.m., the plan to win me back. Wendy warned me. She also asked me out. Would you like to have dinner with me sometime? She asked. I told her to give me time. You deserve someone who doesn't need to lose you to realize you're worth keeping, she said. She left. I sat with the words, Sunday, 8 a.m. Exactly on time, Tracy pulled into my driveway. She had bagels from Miller's and 2 coffees. Blue sundress, hair done. Everything calculated, she knocked. I answered the door, but did not invite her in. She tried to explain. I was pressured by my friends, she said. I didn't mean it like that. Then why throw a party for a wedding that doesn't exist? I asked. You don't understand, she pleaded. Normal doubts, everyone has doubts. Normal doubts aren't telling multiple people you're settling for someone, I said. She started crying, then pleading, promises, vows to change. I watched the act. I felt nothing but clarity. You already threw it away, I said. You made your choice when you decided I wasn't good enough. She begged. I told her to return the ring to Nelson Jewelry. Legally, an engagement ring is a conditional gift. No marriage, no ring. She reacted with anger. You can't make me return it. No, I said, but I can report it as theft if you don't. She left with the coffee and bagels untouched. I called Wendy. She had predicted everything. Then I asked her out properly. Saturday, 7. That little Italian place on Elm, I said. It felt better anticipation, but the good kind. Not the anxiety of being measured and found lacking. The warm, honest kind. We had dinner. She wore no jewelry that screamed money. She wore herself. We talked for hours. She listened when I spoke about woodwork. She asked questions. She remembered details. She made me feel seen. A month later, she moved in. We painted a spare bedroom together. We built things. We planned slowly. We made sure our foundations were right. 3 months after the ring returned, Jacob dropped by with news. Tracy was engaged. Finance guy, BMW, season tickets to the symphony. She found what she thought she wanted. My only regret. Waiting 2 years to see who she really was, Wendy and I, we built something steady, not flashy, not performative, real. 6 months in, we were painting that spare bedroom when she said, I'm glad you knew your worth. So am I said. Good, she smiled, because I planned to spend a very long time showing you you were right. The ring box spot on my counter stayed empty. It didn't feel like something was missing. It felt like space finally cleared for something better. If you made it this far, thanks for listening. If you liked this story, hit subscribe. I've lined up 2 more stories you'll want to hear. Click one now. I'll see you in the next one.